Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's early morning and I've come to Plum Island to hopefully pick up as many spring migrants as possible. Just driving down here, I have heard a lot of stuff out the car window, so I'm kind of hopeful it's going to be a good day, but we'll see. I'm going to focus on migrating warblers, of course. We're entering a 2-week period now where I need to see as many of these as possible because it's definitely the best time of the year to pick them up. Another one that I'm going to be looking for is a white-eyed vireo, which is kind of a Massachusetts rarity, which has been reported around this area here. So I'm parked at the Hellcat parking lot. The island is going to be quite busy today with birders, so I've secured my parking spot here, and I'm going to kind of use that as my base for the next couple of hours and just see what I can find. So I know you don't want to hear a long intro, so let's get out there and find some birds. The area right around the Hellcat parking lot was very birdy, and I was seeing and hearing many northern parrots and yellow-rumped warblers as soon as I stepped out of the car. Since yellow-rumped is already on the year list, I focused on getting a photo of a parrot. I found one tree that had no fewer than 5 parrots in it and started shooting. I thought I had taken some decent shots, but when I reviewed them in the camera viewfinder, I noticed that they were all extremely noisy. I had accidentally changed the camera settings while handling the camera. Something that happens to me all too often with the Canon R7, as the camera is completely covered with buttons. Fortunately, I discovered the problem right away, so no real harm done. I found another group of parrots and got a good shot. Then a few minutes later, I got an even better shot. Later in the morning, when the birds were a little less active, I also managed to get a little video clip of a parrot. House wrens were singing loudly, and I had one pop up right in front of me. I grabbed a few quick shots, but before I could switch to video, it was gone. I'll probably get a house wren on video at some point this year. This is about the only photo I took of a yellow rump all day, despite the high numbers. Right now, I need to focus on the birds I haven't gotten on the list yet. Okay, so I've been birding here for about a half an hour now. It is extremely birdy this morning. It's great. There are warblers just filling every tree here at the Hellcat area, and they're all very, very actively feeding, so it's making it difficult to photograph them. So it's dominated by 2 species, yellow-rumped warblers and northern parrots. I mean, they account for more than 90% of the birds for sure. So the diversity so far is not huge, but it's a lot of fun, and I did get one good sequence of photos of northern parrots. I'll put those up. The white-eyed vireo is around. People are reporting it. It's showing up on the Merlin Sound app, but it's not showing itself, so I will keep hoping for that one as well. I decided to go onto the Boardwalk trail to look for some different species. One of the most common species I encountered was gray catbird, which have showed up in large numbers. They're very common in Massachusetts and seem to be particularly abundant here on Plum Island. I was then able to get onto a very active magnolia warbler, and after significant effort, I finally managed to get a few good shots. This is another new warbler for the year. Black and white warblers were the third most common warbler species on this particular morning. Already on the list, but I grabbed a few quick shots when one dangled right at eye level in front of me. Another new warbler for the year was this chestnut-sided warbler. The warbler diversity seemed to increase throughout the morning, or maybe some of the warblers wake up more slowly. I came across a group of birders all pointing their optics in the same direction, and I thought maybe they were on the white-eyed vireo. Instead, it was this somewhat early male scarlet tanager, which is always a treat to see. I then got word through the Plum Island chat group that a Cape May Warbler was being seen back by the entrance to the boardwalk. I headed straight over and immediately got onto this beautiful and very cooperative warbler. The combination of the white flowers and yellow and orange warbler was really stunning. I took the opportunity to get some longer video clips as well.
Yeah.
It's generally quite tough to get good video of warblers, but when they cooperate, the results can be really nice.
Oh, there he is. We had him with a toey in his mouth a couple hours ago.
Cape May's wide. It's right there as well. Magnolia's went down.
Oh, here's the Cape.
And Cape May's up here and the flowers are down.
This Cape May Warbler made a lot of birders very happy, and the boardwalk started to get very crowded.
Well, that's pretty nice, huh? Doesn't get too much better than that for Cape May.
Okay, I've been here for about 3.5 hours now. It's getting close to 11 in the morning, and I would say just in the last half hour or so, things have started to slow down a bit. So that means that there were 3 hours of really good bird activity, by which I mean really warbler activity. So I'm at 12 warbler species for the day. That's a really good number for May 3rd, because we're still a little on the early side of things. So I'm happy I've got some good photographs of most of them. A little disappointed not to see the white-eyed vireo. Have many reports of that one for the last hour, hour and a half. So I guess that one's not going to happen today, but I'm very happy to get the Cape May and some of the other ones that you've seen. So what I think I'm going to do for this next video is have it be just Plum Island. So I'm going to show all the birds that I photographed today, and then also a recent visit that I made, I think it was last weekend, where I picked up some birds. So I'm not sure if you've already seen them or if I'm going to show them. It's always hard to figure out the logistics of these videos in the field, but I know I'm going to have a lot of nice birds to show and a lot of new ones for the list. And in fact, I'm going to have a backlog that kind of grows over the next week or two as spring migration really ramps up, because I don't want to show too many birds in one video and tire out my viewers. Okay, so I'm going to use that as a segue to go back to my previous visit to Plum Island on April 25th. One really easy way to pick up a new year bird every spring is to visit the purple martin houses located right in front of the Lot 1 bathrooms. As usual, there were several purple martins flying around and perching on the houses. Thanks to the volunteers who maintain these structures and clear out the house sparrow nests. This male house finch was also perched on the purple martin houses and singing his heart out. I think that house finch is the last really common year-round species to be added to my year list. I then visited the salt pans, where there were a lot of shorebirds, mostly yellowlegs and dunlin. Most were on the far side of the pan and too far away to photograph well, but I did find this one lesser yellowlegs working its way along the near side of the pan. I still need to add greater yellowlegs to the list. Also in the main salt pan was this American golden plover. If you've been following these videos, you may remember that I saw this species in the same location a few weeks ago. This is a much closer and better look than I got previously. There have actually been 2 of them hanging around the salt pans, and this is likely a different individual from my previous video. This one is closer to being in its breeding plumage, and you can see the flecks of gold in the feathers that give it its name. A little farther south at the maintenance area there was a small flock of savanna sparrows, and I got some nice close looks. They look a lot like song sparrows, but the yellow over the eye is only seen on savanna sparrows. And finally, I made a brief visit to the beach at Lot 1 as I was leaving, and I found one piping plover hanging out right by the signs keeping the beach closed. These are really cute little birds, and I hope to see some piping plover chicks running around the beach soon. Okay, now coming back to the current visit. By late morning, it was an overflow situation in the Hellcat parking lot. I kept birding the boardwalk trails and was able to find a few more new birds. Blue-headed vireos were pretty common this morning, and I finally got one close to eye level. This is a new one for the channel life list. I think these are really neat looking birds. It was also nice to catch this male black-throated green warbler in full sun. Baltimore orioles were singing all over the place, and this was a nice photo op of one feeding right over the boardwalk. And rounding out the warblers that I photographed was this palm warbler. A few days ago they were the most common migrant, but today I only saw this one. I finally dragged myself away from the Hellcat area to make a few more stops on my way off the island. Okay, so I finally left the Hellcat area and gave up my very valuable parking spot there after a very productive visit. Drove north a little bit to the Warden's area, the maintenance area, and picked up some sparrows there. Saw savanna sparrows and a couple of white crown sparrows, which are nice. Those are new for the year and not so easy to get in spring in Massachusetts particularly. It's now a yearly tradition that a killdeer makes the questionable decision to nest in the very center of the gravel parking area inside the maintenance area. So the traffic cones come out, and no doubt it's a bit of a hassle for the staff, but fun for the visiting birders to see. Hey, your camouflage is pretty good, but we can still see you. So here's one of the white-crowned sparrows that I just mentioned. The adults look pretty sharp in the spring with those crisp black and white head stripes. I've now come up to the main salt pan area to see if there's any shorebirds out there, but not too many. There are some willets, which I think is going to be the last new bird of the day. I did get a reasonably good shot of a willet out kind of in the middle of the main salt pan here. Well, it's actually not such great footage due to the heat haze, but I'm going to count it, and that brings the year list up to an even 150. I am going to wrap it up and go get myself some lunch. It's been a great morning here at Plum Island, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.